In every corner of America, you'll find figures who everyone else looks to. They look to them because they're bold. They look to them because they're exceptional. They look to them for reminders of what's possible, regardless of who you are or where you're from. And in Bayonne, New Jersey, the one they look to is a guy named Chuck Wepner. Because once upon a time, Chuck did something they haven't stopped talking about here, and probably never will. He dared to step into the ring with Muhammad Ali as one of the most unforgettable underdogs in sports history. The story starts in a boxing gym, where they used to put big gloves on little fighters and watch them box. Even then, there was a difference between the way Chuck fought and the way the other boys did. Because Chuck never took a step back. He just kept moving forward, daring to take what they threw at him and throwing back even harder. Because if every man is born to do something, Chuck Wepner was born to beat the odds.
I wasn't a tough kid. I had to become a tough kid. When I moved to the projects, I more or less got my training just in street fights. Being a brawler, I had to keep the pressure on guys all the time. I had 328 stitches over my eyes and inside my eyes and in my mouth. But that's why I sold out all the time. People wanted to see you get busted up. They wanted to see you bleed.
So that's what Chuck did. He bled for them. And the Bayonne Bleeder became known as much for the punches he took as the ones he threw. But then in 1975, Chuck got the call of a lifetime. The heavyweight champion of the world was looking for an easy fight and wanted to give Chuck a shot.
Tonight, in Cleveland, world-famous fighter Muhammad Ali will step into the ring once again. His opponent, the 35-year-old Chuck Wepner, a little-known boxer from Bayonne, New Jersey. One day, a liquor salesman without a full-time trainer. The next, a contender for the heavyweight championship of the world. Chuck says he's been dreaming every night that he's going to knock Ali out.
There's almost the word Ali can't lose sort of thing. Have you heard that at all?
Oh, I've heard it, but I don't believe it.
You paid your dues?
I sure have. I come to fight. I don't fall down like these other guys.
The whole world may have expected Chuck to lose, but the people who knew him best, who knew where he was from, knew better. They looked at him and saw confidence, optimism, determination. A guy who dared to prove what no one else believed, that he could last the full 15 rounds toe-to-toe with Muhammad Ali.
The moment that I realized that it was real, I was standing in the ring.
Chuck was fearless that night, never hesitating for a second. He just kept moving forward.
Wepner not visibly shaken as he continues to come in. This man does not back up.
And in the ninth round, all that momentum led to the impossible.
Oh, of Muhammad Ali, and what a surprise!
The champion was on the canvas for just 6 seconds. But when he rose, he was angry. What followed were some of the most brutal rounds in boxing history. But every punch Chuck took only further epitomized who he was, his toughness, his authenticity, his heart. And when the fight was finally stopped with just 19 seconds to go, Chuck had showed the world who the guy from Bayonne really was.
Fight Muhammad Ali for the title was the greatest. I was a 40-to-1 underdog not to go more than 5 or 6 rounds. I won 15, I had him down, and even though I didn't win the fight, I proved that I belonged in there.
40 years later, Chuck Wepner is still who he was in the ring that night. He still lives where he came from, among the people he means the most to. As bold, as exceptional, as daring as ever. And he's still moving forward.
People ask me, geez, Chuck, you became a little well-known. You probably could have moved anywhere after you fought Ali. And I says, why would I do that? I love Bayonne. I've been there my whole life. Things just worked out right for me. I'm probably the luckiest guy in the world.
In Bayonne, New Jersey, they still look to Chuck Wepner, and they always will. They tell his story because there's no better way to remind themselves what's possible, when you never stop daring greatly.